What's good, my boys? We are back. What is this you say? 2 uploads in 1 week? You can't hold me back. It's true. You heard what they've said. All right. Anyway, this is my new and improved version 2.0 invoked Sky Striker. But this time we've added a little twist. So yeah, let's get right into it. This is about this is after about 6 or 7 locals, so, and then a pretty big tournament actually that me and my friends played in as well. So this is after some pretty good testing. So yeah, 3 Alistair. We took out Ray, so he's the best normal summon. We play 3 now. 2 blue boy, and ooh, that's out of order, and 2 purple boy. And then you gotta play the move man. He moves. He's got moves. And we got the red one too. You know, you only play the red one really because you want the blue one to search for 2 cards, and then yeah. So you gotta have like multiple targets in deck and shit. Ghost Ogre. This card is so insane right now. Like, I'm gonna say, well, it's the best hand trap in the format if they don't have Call by the Grave in hand, and then like, obviously if they do, you'd want something like Gamma. But yeah, this card is crazy good right now. So good against Goki, so good against Pure Striker, has applications against every other deck. It's just, yeah. Yeah. 2 Ash. This is the one hand trap that I'm kind of like on the fence on right now. It's not great. It's really like, you really just trade ones for ones with a lot of decks right now. Like, this card doesn't like blow anything out. It's pretty good if you draw it with another hand trap, but like, it's by itself is not amazing. Like, not many of the top decks are like playing Desires anymore, so it's like you can't really like rely on just like the, like, if it isn't good in the matchup, at least it has Desires. But yeah, it's still Ash, so we still play it. 2 Ghost Spell. This is one of the best hand traps to draw with another hand trap because stops the Call by Grave. It also is just insane versus Goki. You know, negates rematch. And in weird like situations, you can just negate a Soul Charge, and then they don't just sack you. You know, it is the card that negates Soul Charge. So you know, we play it. Play 3 Gamma. This card actually is just OP. Like, especially when you resolve on your turn. Obviously, like if they draw your Ash, your terraforming, and you just drop the Gamma, it's like, oof, oof. And then best card in the game. Yeah. Yep, best hand trap, Cypher Driver. Confirmed, 2018. 3 Engage. 3 drones to add back the Engage. But then we got the 2 targets. So it's kind of like, I really like these 2 cards. I think they're very strong. And this card by itself is just super good against Trickstar. And this card by itself just steals so many games where you steal their monster, summon a Mech Knight, summon Alistair, and then it's just like so much damage, and they take it all to the face, and then they die. All right, 2 Terra, 2 Meltdown, and then 3 Invocation. I think this is the correct ratio if you're not playing, well, if you're not playing like Area Zero like I was before. You definitely don't want to see multiple Meltdown in your hand. Like, Meltdown is like one of the worst cards to draw in multiples because it just doesn't do anything, you know. And Invocation, on the other hand, is so good because everyone loves to Ash the Alistair. That's their favorite thing to do. That's like why they come to tournaments. They're like, man, I can't wait to Ash Alistair today. Well, you know what? If you hard draw this, it doesn't matter, because then you just make Purgatoria with their Alistair, and then they activate a Scapegoat, so you just kill them. That's exactly what happens every single time. All right, 2 Twin, great card. I decided to main it instead of side it in this version just because I'm getting sick of like anti-spell in the standby phase, and then I'm like, ugh, why do you play that in your main deck? But oh well. Called. We're playing a Ghost second deck, so we don't need 3 called, but this card is obviously still good. And then 1 Upstart because Sav, Upstart, Hoban, gotta play it. All right, 3 mech. Card is insane. Do I have to say more? 2 perg, and then actually this is strange. Everyone on the other side of the camera is like, oh my god, what the hell? But here you go. I'm gonna explain to you why this card is so good. So your like worst matchup is pure Striker. That deck is so hard to beat with this deck. Like, because here's the thing. You remember how I was saying everyone loves to Ash Alistair and that's just it? Well, let me give you this scenario. So Pure Striker goes first, sets a whole bunch of Widow anchors, and then it's your turn. And then you summon Alistair. And then they not only negate it with their Widow anchor, but then they take it. What do you do now? You know, you can't even banish it from the field anymore with the invocation you hard drew, because there you go, you hard drew invocation. But here's the thing. Now, when you get into the grind situation with that deck, which happens literally every single time because that deck cannot kill you ever. That deck will never kill you. But once you get into the grind, they give you a bunch of extra zones with those Sky Striker links. So you can have like 3 fusions on the field at once. Remember that. And the best fusions in that matchup, actually all the fusions are really good in that matchup, but the best fusion in the matchup is this. Because you summon it right over here across from their Link monster by banishing their Shizuku. And, well, they can't do anything about it. Literally, their out to this card is attacking around it with Hayate. And this card has 300 more attack than Hayate. So, yeah, you just run them out of resources real quick. They can't even jamming wave this because it can't be struck by card effects. And it can't be targeted, so they can't afterburners or anchor it. 2 Kagari, 1 Shizuku, 1 Hayate. Standard, I played in the last list. It's just the best ratio. You obviously summon Kagari more than the others, but Hayate gets you to engage, and Shizuku also gets you to engage, and engage is good. So yeah, 2 Alistair. I actually don't know if the second Alistair is worth it. I have made it. It has come up, but it's just I want to play so many other cards. I'm just like, man, do I really need to play the second one? Not sure yet. Haven't really tested with only one, and I'm kind of scared too. Yeah, Land for Linkus. This card is amazing. Light monster, points double down, and it's generic. So yeah, you can make out 400 drones. Phoenix. Enough said. Out's anti-spell. And then the 1 Omega for when you just nuts gamma them on your own turn, and then you just make Omega and they're dead. There's no coming back. 1 Ash. Card's great. If we ever need more than, 10 hand traps in the main deck, here's an 11th. Oh, actually, here's 2 more, so 12. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, 2 cherries too. This card's great. Obviously, you just want to see it turn 1 against Goki, so you just side it in. 2 Majesty's Fiend. You might be wondering, what the hell? But let me tell you that if you summon this card against Alter Guys, they lose. They don't have an out. They can't Meloseek it, and they can't Sequotus, and they definitely can't activate the continuous trap that negates monster effects on it, because this guy doesn't activate, and neither do they when he's on the field. So yeah, they just lose. You just keep punching them with it. You summon like Mech Knights around it, and then they just get beaten down way too fast. And yeah, I think their only out is like impermanence. Yeah. 2 Gamma. Sometimes you have to go first. If you predict your opponent to actually like realize that, you're just like, all right, I'll slide in shared rides. This card is also just super important against Sky Striker, because that deck runs you out of resources super fast, and you just need something that you can gain back the resources with. So this is important. The 3rd twin, and then 1 heavy Storm Duster. I'd say that Sky Striker is a bad enough matchup that you just need these. Like these additions to your deck. It's so important to just out their back row, and like especially when you know which ones were set off the multi-roll, you can just banish 2 cards basically without them getting the anchors on your Alistair. 3 more hand traps, and then 1 Isolde, because that's what you need to cherries, not Firewall. All right. Anyway, that's it for the deck profile. Thanks for coming.